Hello and welcome to our channel, my dear friends. In this video I will analyze the French Open draw and will give you my top 8 favorite list for this year. But before starting this video I want to tell you that I am making this video in English for the first time, and because English is my second language I am not very fluent in English and can break in pronunciation in between, so pardon me if I make some mistakes in between. So let's start the video. The French Open is played on medium to slow speed clay courts in which the men's matches consist of 5 sets. Means the any match, if any player wins the match, he has to win the first 3 sets first, then the match will be completed. Okay, and it can go to 5 sets. So this is the basic rules of Grand Slam, and the difference between the other tournaments and Grand Slam is that the French Open or the Grand Slam is of 5 set. It's a long time tennis tournament. Okay, it's a very big and it takes more time. And the weather in this French Open is sunny, so in starting week the weather will be very hot, around 27 to 34 degrees. So any player who has less physical stamina can struggle in these conditions because the sun will be very harsh in these conditions and player can struggle with their fitness. Okay, so keep an eye on the players fitness levels also. There are only 2 courts with a roof, so if rain come by any chance, so there will be only action in 2 courts. Okay, the rain is not there in the weather app, but it can come in last week. Okay, in the last stage of the French Open, so you can see it later. Okay, the speed is medium to slow. I already told you, but if you compare the French Open with other tournaments, the French Open is little faster than the other tournaments. If we remove the high altitude tournaments like Geneva and Madrid, the Roland Garros or French Open is little higher side in speed. Okay, so keep this in mind. So in this, the last year champion Carlos Alcaraz is already injured and out of the tournament because of the wrist injury. So this is very big shock for the tournament because the past champion is not playing here. Alcaraz won this tournament last year and in 2025 and in 2024 also. So this is a big shock to the tournament, and Sinner is already very big favorite for this tournament to win. So the draw is very open this year. Okay, so if Sinner by any chance got injured in the tournament, this will be very big opportunity for all the players. So keep an eye on Sinner fitness level also, because in last tournament Rome he struggled a bit with his fitness. Okay. So let's move in the prize money category. The prize money is very high for this year French Open. It is of record number. Almost 67.2 euro million will be given to the champion. In INR it is 749 crore rupees, which is very high amount. And the champion will get 2.8 million. I mean like 31.08 crore in Indian rupees. So this is a very big number, and players will give all their strength and everything in this court, because every player has a dream to perform big in French Open or any Roland Garros. So any player dream big to perform very good in French Open or any Grand Slam. So player will give their full strength and full performance. I mean, so okay, so don't think that players will try to fix in this big tournament and they will not compete with a bad level. Okay, so every player will try to give their full performance, full high level performance. So you can watch this French Open in Sony Sports Network. The timing will be 2:30 IST to 2:30 AM in Indian time, and in US time you can watch this tournament in morning. So it will start in morning according to US time and will go to evening. Okay, so in India you can watch this tournament in Sony Sports Network in TV and in OTT platform also. So before starting this video I want to tell you that you can join our channel in which I share bets. This is my channel link, and you can also check the pinned comment from the comment section and you can join from there too. I will share the bets in this tournament in my personal group only. Okay, So let's start the video. So here is my top 8 favorite list. The list goes in such a way that if we move to the up from 8 to 1, the chances of players to win the French Open will be more. Okay, the eighth player will have less chances than the player in the first position. So you will get the idea how this ranking system I have made. Okay, so let's start from number 8th position. In number 8th position, I have placed Rafael Colignan. So this player is very good and this player is very consistent this year also. So if you watched Rafael Colignan, he played very good on clay courts, and this year he is 20. Let me see the stat. In this year he is 10 and 2 in clay courts. I mean, he won 10 matches in clay court and lost only 2 matches in clay. And he is now not a tour ATP regular, but I think in my mind that he belongs to ATP and his level is almost ready for the ATP 100%. And that's why I placed him in 8th position. So if we watch his draw, his first round matches with Vukic, which is very bad player on clay, and he's in very terrible form. So he should clear this round, and in second round he will play Shelton. I mean, Shelton can definitely beat Colignan, but Shelton form is not good in recent, and he is struggling with his form and didn't perform well in recent tournament. But Shelton is a big match player. You also had, if you see Shelton, that if you watch Shelton is a big match player and he perform always good in Grand Slam. So Shelton up his level in Grand Slam, and he can definitely beat Colignan, but by seeing the recent performance, I think Colignan can beat him. So that's why I prefer Colignan over Shelton. Okay, in third round, Colignan will face Tsitsipas. Tsitsipas is also a very good player in clay, but not now. He is good before 3-4 years ago, but now he is average to average player because his forehand is very shit level, and his serve only saves him. I think he is not very good on clay. So because every player now knows his weakness that his backhand is very shit and targets his backhand side more. So I will think Colignan will clear Tsitsipas also. In fourth round he will play Bublik and Hurkacz. And this round can be very tough for him because Bublik is very good player on clay. If you many people think that Bublik doesn't play good on clay, but last year he played very good on clay, and this year also in Rome in last tournament in which he is playing, he played okay level. I mean, this is not that good, but he can definitely challenge big players. Okay, but I think Colignan can clear him. In quarterfinal he will face Sinner, and most predictable answer will be Sinner will beat him very easily because Sinner level is very far above from every player. So if we by chance manage to beat Sinner, I mean if Sinner got injured, then in semi-final he can play Djokovic and Musetti, and in final he can play not Alcaraz. I write wrong here. He can play Jodar or Djokovic or maybe Fils. So let's move into the next section. In 7th position I have placed Alejandro Tabilo. This lefty player is very good in clay and has very good record in this year also. If we see the Tabilo performance, Tabilo played very good this year, 21 and 9 in this year, and he is 35th in the ranking, and he is a lefty player and can play very good. In the first round he faces Kamil Mejerak, and he should beat him because Kamil is not in great form and has didn't played much in recent times, so he will clear this round very easily. But there are some rumors about Tabilo health also, that he is not 100% fit, but that might be a lie. So I am thinking that he will be fit So that's why I placed in it in 7th position. And in third position, in third match he can second. I mean, in second match he can play Beckerout. Beckerout also didn't play much in recent time. He skipped many tournaments in between. So I think he lacked match sharpness in between and should not trouble Tabilo. Okay. And in third match he plays Nuri and Chilich. This match can be tough because Nuri is a very good grinder of the game and can definitely challenge Tabilo in long exchanges. But Tabilo has very good forehand which can pass the Nuri defense. So I think if this match happens, Tabilo should get him a win in 4 or 5 sets. This match can be tough. Okay, in fourth match he faced Felix or maybe Chilich. This round can be very dangerous and definitely Felix can beat Alejandro because Felix is a very strange player. In the starting of the year he performed very good in Brisbane, and then in middle of the year he played very bad. In recent time he lost to Kovacevic, which is very terrible in clay courts, and he lost to him. So that's not a good sign to back him in this tournament. So that's why I prefer Tabilo in this section. Okay, in quarterfinal he can face Medvedev and Nakashima, and semi-final Sinner, Kolignan, or maybe Shelton if Sinner got injured, and in final Djokovic and Phelps. And let's move to sixth position. So these all the players which I included in this list are going to be made a quarterfinal. Okay, that's why I make this eight player list, because there will be 8 quarterfinal. So I make this list that at least if at least 5 players should from this list should make a quarterfinal. And also I am making terrible pronunciation in this video, so pardon me, I am trying my best. So in sixth position I have placed Medvedev. Sorry, I placed Zverev photo here, but it's Medvedev position. Medvedev draw is the first round he played with Walton, and second round he played with Popyrin. Third round he will play Cerundolo Monfils. So first round is very easy. Second round can be tricky because Popyrin has already beat him. But Popyrin is mostly very high variance player. I mean, he play very big in some points and play very loose in some sets. So I think he can't sustain his level in long 5-set format and can leak out many errors, and he should not beat Medvedev in 5 long sets. And I have included Medvedev in this list because also Medvedev is not that good in clay, but in recent time he changed his coach. So his new Swedish coach I think made some changes in his game which is favoring his game and made some improvement in his game. So that's why I also added Medvedev here. So in third round he will play Cerundolo or Monfils. This round can be very tricky because Cerundolo has potential to beat Medvedev and they can definitely beat him, but Cerundolo level is kind of very unstable and he is a very unstable player, can play very good in a set and can play very bad in a set. So I don't think that he will sustain his whole level for the whole match. So that's why I didn't take Cerundolo over Medvedev. In fourth round he will play Koboli or Tien. So this round will be extremely tough for Medvedev because these two players have beaten Medvedev in past and multiple time, I think, because Tien also beat him multiple time and Koboli beat him recently in Rome, I think, or in Madrid. I didn't know exactly, but Koboli won very easily in that round. I mean, he dominated Medvedev in that round. So you can watch out in this match because if this match occurs, you can definitely bet Koboli or Tien. In quarterfinal, he can play Nakashima and Felix. If Medvedev reach quarterfinal, he can definitely beat both these players because these both players are not that good in. Not that good in clay, so he can definitely beat. In semi-final, he can play Sinner and Kolignan, and maybe Shelton, who knows. But if he plays Sinner and Sinner is not physical, then he can definitely beat Sinner also. But if Sinner going to lose this match again Medvedev, he should be injured. Otherwise, he should not beat Sinner. Okay. In final, he will play Djokovic or Fils according to the draw. Okay, these players are in upper section of the draw, and the final player in which he plays is in the bottom play. They are in bottom section. So now we are moving in the higher order of our list. So these are top 5 players which I think can make the quarterfinals at least, and these have more chances than the below players. Okay, so in 5th position I have placed Rafael Jodar. This 19-year-old kid is very good in tennis. Okay, and he is only 19, and this year he made very big performance in this circuit. He made Barcelona semi-final, Madrid quarter-final, and Rome quarter-final also, I think, and Marrakech winner. So he played very good in clay courts recently, and I think he has big potential and can beat Sinner and Alcaraz in future. It can take 3 or 4 years for him, but he can definitely challenge them. Okay, so Rafael Jodar plays his first match according to the draw with Kovacevic. He should definitely beat him in straight sets. In the second match, he plays with Diallo and Duckworth. These both are terrible players of clay courts. Not terrible. Diallo played good in last year, but he is in recently he's in very terrible form, and Duckworth is not very. He's very below level of Jodar, so he should not beat Jodar. In third round, he will face Fritz or Mickelson. Fritz is not 100% fit, I think, or he's lack match fitness, or he also have some rest. We saw in last round, in last matches, he lost to Popyrin in straight set, which is very bad. Popyrin should not beat him in straight set. If you are losing from Popyrin in straight set, you are in not good form, or you didn't play it well. Okay, and he can play Mickelson also, but Mickelson was also not good in clay. He didn't move much well on clay, so he should beat both of these if he manages to play them. In fourth round, he played some two tough players. Any of them can beat him, so he can play Fokina or Lehechka. If he plays Fokina can also challenge him, because Fokina's best surface is clay, but recently he is not in good form, and also he is having some physical issues. But if he is fit, he can definitely challenge Jodar, because his serve is also okay, and his variety and his backhand is very good. So if Fokina comes in form, this will be very tough for Jodar. Okay, and Lehechka should not beat Jodar, because Lehechka is very, not built for clays, especially not built for slow clay, because Lehechka plays good in more fast courts. In slow courts, his rally tolerance becomes very poor. So I don't think Lehechka can beat Jodar in these conditions. So let's move to the quarterfinal. In quarterfinal, he can face Fils or Zverev. He can beat both. I think Jodar lost to Fils in 3 sets, but he can definitely beat him, because Fils, I think, he's having hip issue. He's having hip injury recently. But if Fils is fit and also Zverev is fit, and if he comes fit with Jodar should not beat him. Okay, so in the quarterfinal match, it will be very tough for him. So let's see what happens in semi-final. If he manages to beat in quarterfinal, then in semi-final he will play Djokovic, Ruud or Rublev. Any of them he can play according to the draw, and in final he can play Sinner or Medvedev. So in fourth position I have placed Rublev. So Rublev draw is very tough, but because in his section I saw Rublev the best player, that's why I included Rublev in this fourth category, okay, fourth position. In the first round, he will play Buse. He should beat Buse, but Buse is a very tough opponent for him in the first round. But Buse, because Buse is coming from a very long last week, so this can definitely impair his physical fitness. So definitely in this match, Rublev will have plus positive physical endurance and physical advantage. So I think Buse will lose to Rublev in this round. In the second round, he plays Ugo Carabelli. He played with Carabelli many times, and every time I thought he can beat Rublev, but every time he lost to Rublev. So again, I think same will happen. Rublev will beat Carabelli, and in third round, this will be tough round because Etcheverry is a very good clay player, and Kichpanev is also playing very good recently. He has very good results in clay this year, but Rublev should beat them because Rublev has more power and more good results in clay. So, but this match can be upset match, but I think Rublev should make the fourth round. Okay, fourth round he plays Blocks and Mansik. Anyone can make the fourth round, and fourth round will be very tough because Blocks is in very good form. If you have watched Blocks, he played very good in recent months, and almost he reaches semi-final or final of every tournament he plays. Only lost by very top players like Zverev or other top players. So this match is going to be very blockbuster if Rublev plays Blocks, because this will be forehand battle because both have very good forehand, and Blocks will have little advantage in his serve, but forehand both have very good forehands, and both have very terrible variety. Both didn't use much slices or drop shot. So this will though both players have very things in common, but I think Rublev should beat him because of his Grand Slam experience. And in quarterfinal, he will play Djokovic or Ruud. And if you didn't know the Rublev quarterfinal record, he is 0-10 in the quarterfinal. I mean, he played quarterfinal of Masters 10 times and he lost 10 times, which is very terrible and a record by the record itself. Okay, so that will be very tough to clear him this round. If he manages to reach the quarterfinal, he should not reach semi-final. Okay, so in semi-final he plays Jodar or Zverev or Fils. Any player can make a semi-final, and in final he can play Sinner or Medvedev. In third round, in third position, I have placed the GOAT Djokovic. So do not underestimate the GOAT. Okay, GOAT is GOAT. Djokovic is very good player and everyone knows his history. He is a 24-time Grand Slam winner, which is a very big thing, and he is my favorite player, so I have placed him in the third position. So first round he plays with Perigard. I think that match is tomorrow or day after tomorrow, and he will play it in night section. I mean this match is the last match of the day. It will start around 12 a.m. according to the local time of Paris, or 1 a.m. So this will be very tough for Pericard to go through the Djokovic defense because Pericard has good serve but not good in rally. He cannot win the very long rallies because his backhand is very terrible. Only his forehand is good, and his rally tolerance also is very terrible. And he is not a clay court player. He hates the clay court. In the second round, he can play Royer and Dalian. So if he is not 100% physically fit, he can lose to these two players. But if he is fit, he should roll both of these. Okay. In the third round, he will play tough match, very tough match. Prismic and Fonseca. These two are the next generation players, and both can beat the Djokovic. Prismic recently beat Djokovic in the recent time, but in that match Djokovic looked physically unfit after the first set. In the first set, Djokovic rolled him over in the first set and looked very good. If the Djokovic continues that form, I mean the first set form, he can definitely beat Prismic. And if Fonseca plays him, Fonseca is also a very good player of clay, but he has not that good return quality. His return quality is very bad, and sometimes his forehand cracks in between the match. And Djokovic, if fit, should beat Fonseca because he has a very good experience and everything he has better than Fonseca. And in fourth round, he can play Rude or Tommy Paul. And this round will be very tough because both this player can make this match very physical. And Djokovic don't like the physical matches. If the match goes very long, so this will be very tough for Djokovic. And if this match is played in the night time, then this will be then more difficult for him. Okay, so both players can definitely beat Djokovic because Djokovic is not in his prime. Djokovic is now a 39-year-old grandpa. So this will be tough for him to beat both of them, but Djokovic can definitely beat both of them because Djokovic is the GOAT. And if you watch Djokovic, he only lost to if we remove the US Open, he lost the quarterfinal last time before 2018, and from then to last year he didn't lost the quarterfinal of a slam till last year. If we remove the US Open, so he makes every time the quarterfinal and reaches the semi-final most of the time. So in the semi-finals he plays Zverev, Fils and Jodar. So this match will be very tough because these players have a quality. These are quality players. Zverev and Fils are quality players. Also Jodar is good, but I don't think Jodar has much experience of 5 sets and cannot should not beat Djokovic if this match goes long because Djokovic has very vast amount of experience and he will use his experience in his favor. And in final he will play Sinner, and for beating Sinner he needs Sinner to be injured or having some physical issues because I don't think he can beat Sinner in clay because clay is his very first surface and is not, and Djokovic don't play that well on clay. But he can beat Sinner if Sinner didn't play that well. In this year, we also saw that Djokovic beat him in Australia Open, and in that match, Sinner is fit. But I think in this match, it will be more tough for him because it's clay, not hard court. In the second position, I have placed Alexander Sasa Zverev. Sasa Zverev has a very simple draw. If you look at his draw, he has, I think, the simplest of the draw, like cakewalk draw. In the first round, he plays Bonzi, which is a very beatable player in clay court. In the second round, it can be tough if he plays the inform Mahech because Mahech is a very good player in clay. If you watched him in last year, he beated one of the most dangerous players on clay. Like he defeated Alcaraz, I think, or Medvedev too, and some more difficult players. I think he defeated Djokovic also. So Mahech is a very good player, but he has also fitness concern and his form also dipped in long matches. So if Zverev is fit, he can definitely beat Mahech also. And Burgess is a very beatable player in 5 set format. His body don't hold up in long format. And in the third round, he plays with Humbert and Bellucci. These two players play good on the hard court surfaces, but in clay court, they can't put pressure on Zverev because Zverev baseline game is too good for them. So I don't think these both can defeat him. In the fourth round, he plays with Hanchinov. Hanchinov is a very good player of clay, but in recent times in clay court season, he didn't play that well, and his rally tolerance also dipped very much. And I don't think he can defeat fully fit Zverev. Also, Zverev has a back problem. If you don't remember, he lost to Darderi last match, and in the third set he lost the 6-0, which is a bagel. Darderi gave him a bagel, which is very shame because he is a third ranked player in the world. So it is a major concern if his back is not healed. So that will be very concerning. So keep an eye on him. If his back hurt in any match, if in that day the sun is very warm or the conditions are tough, then Zverev might be a very good upset in early rounds. You have to watch him every match, okay? And in the quarterfinals, he plays with Jodar, Lehchka, or Fokina. All these players are good players of clays other than Lehechka. Jodar and Fokina are good players. Jodar performed really well this year. I have also put him in my list of top 8 favorites. And he can definitely beat Zverev, but this is a 5 set format match, and if this match goes long, Jodar I think can't defeat Zverev in the long format. And also Jodar struggles a bit against those players which retrieve the ball very well. So if Jodar plays Zverev, Zverev has a big advantage over Jodar. And if he plays informed Fokina, Fokina also definitely can challenge Zverev. But Fokina form is very terrible and is playing very bad at the moment. So if he continues that form, he can't defeat Zverev. And if we talk about Lehechka is a very inconsistent type of player, and he don't perform that well on clay, and his game didn't translate well on clay court. So I didn't think he can also trouble Zverev in these conditions. So he has a very favorable draw till here, and in the semi-final he has a tough draw. He can play Rublev or Djokovic. If we play Rublev, then it will be easy because Rublev has a very terrible draw. I mean, Rublev has a very bad result in the semi-final matches. He is 0-10 because he never is 0-10 in the quarter-final matches, I think, and which is very bad sign. And I don't think Rublev can trouble Zverev in these conditions. And Djokovic can definitely beat Zverev because he's the only player in this section who can match Zverev in the backhand side, and he can definitely uh, challenge him. But Djokovic's body is also fragile, and he is almost 39 now. I don't think he can beat Zverev in long format if the Zverev don't choke. Okay, Zverev has a tendency to choke matches from winning positions, and Djokovic has a tendency to win from choking positions. So you have to keep an eye on this match because if this match happens in the semi-final, this will be a blockbuster match. If the Djokovic is fully healthy, this will be a must match watch. Okay, this is a must watch match. And in the final, he will play Sinner, in which Sinner defeat him very brutally. Okay, I don't think Sinner will be troubled by Xavier because you already seen what Sinner do to Zverev. Okay, only Sinner Zverev has chance if the match goes long, and Sinner will not try to push this match long. Okay, so I don't think Sinner will be lost by Zverev, and he can also play Medvedev if Sinner got injured in the mid draw. So if he plays Medvedev in the final, he will have a chance to win his first slam. Okay, so this is his draw, and I think is a very good prospect in this French Open if Sinner has an injury in between. So in the first portion, you already know who is the player. It is Yannick Sinner, which is a very dangerous type of player and very powerful. You know everything about him. He is a Mr. Perfect of tennis. His draw is a okay. His draw is I think very easy. Also, his first round he plays with Tabur. I think Tabur will not even win 5 matches against him because Sinner is extremely good compared to him. Second round he plays with Serundolo Jr. and he cannot beat Sinner because Sinner is too good for him. Third round he plays with Landless and Moutet. So this round can be interesting if Landalus play good, but I don't think he can beat Sinner. Fourth round he play with Rinderknecht and Darderi. This round will be good because these these two players are very good in clay, especially Darderi, because Darderi can push him, and if he serves well and if his forehand is firing, he can definitely take a set from Sinner. If you watch the Australia Open, he compete with Sinner in a set very good, and Rinderknecht also competed with Sinner last year very good. I think he took the most number of games last year in French Open till the semi-final. Okay, so Rinderknecht can also challenge in a single set. I don't think he can win a set against Sinner, but he can definitely challenge Sinner in a set. And in the quarterfinal, he will play Tsitsipas, Bublik, or Kolignan. because he in the first section of the draw. I don't think these players can beat Sinner. Okay, and in semi-final he plays with Tabilo, Medvedev, and Koboli. I don't think these players also can beat Sinner. To beat Sinner, Sinner must be injured. Okay, so Sinner, if you want to beat Sinner, Sinner must be injured. This is the formula to beat Sinner. And if you really want to beat Sinner, then you must have the 70 plus serve-ins, and you should have a very good game, baseline game, and you should use drop shots, and I mean you should be perfect to beat perfect like Alcaraz, and very extreme good form to beat Sinner. Otherwise you can't even touch Sinner. So in final, he will play Djokovic or Zverev. I have put Phil's name in here, but Phil's also withdraw from the draw. So remove the Phil's. He will play Zverev, I think, in the final, and will beat Sinner, and will beat Zverev, and will the win the his next slam. He already won 5 Masters this is, which is very good record. 5 Masters. So I don't think any player can trouble Sinner. If Sinner is fit, then Sinner is the number one favorite to win the French Open. He is already 1.3 around favorite to win the French Open. So this is a very favorable draw for Sinner to win the French Open, and he can definitely win it. And for if we talk about the dark horse players, we have 8 players in the draw which can cause big upsets, and can run deep in the draw. I have put these names in here. Here is Felix and Mahech, Shelton, Sarundolo, Buse, Paul, Koboli, and Root. These all players have good potential and can definitely run deep in the draw. Especially, I think is Root, because Root is very underrated, and he has the very good spin in his ball. I think if we compare the RPM of him with other players, he has the most RPM in the whole draw. And from 2020, he has won the most number of matches in clay compared to all players, active players currently now. So he's a definitely a player to watch, but he don't perform well in Masters. I in slams like he's also called a 250 merchant, and I don't think he will play good here because he already played too much in last 2 weeks, and he will struggle in this heat if he is not 100% fit. But these are my dark horse players which can upset big players and can run deep. So also if you watch this video, tell which is the player you think can win the French Open if it is not Sinner. And if you are not picking Sinner to win the French Open, comment in the comment section that which player is going to win the French Open with the reasoning. If you are not selecting Sinner, okay? And you can also pick one dark horse player in the comment section and post there. So if you like the video, so subscribe it and like for more videos, okay? So thank you for watching.